Here you have this is the modem at the customer premises, and it uses actually two. There are two modems used. So you have this router and modem at the customer premises, and you have one at the uh, office. So it is a DSL device is a modem pair. Okay. One DSL modem is located at the customer premises, and another DSL access multiplexer, which is DSLAM, is at the central office. And these two modems will create a DSL, that is digital subscriber line. This modems transmit data at the rate up to 160 kbps over copper lines up to 8,000 feet. So DSLAM at the central office or the access provider is the one which actually has the like it happens like DSL is happening because of this DSLAM. It accepts connections from various customers and it aggregates. It's a multiplexing, okay, multiplexer, access multiplexer. So it is multiplexing number of lines. So you have various customers which are multiplexed together at this DSL AM, and it aggregates them into a single high capacity connection to the internet. So in addition, it also does IP routing and dynamic IP address assignment. So it is having the not only the modulation and demodulation, that is modem, or it is having the router capability also. So this is a general modem for DSL service. You are having the phone line, Ethernet cable. This is the power source. So it is like this is the home which is having the DSL modem, and this DSL modem over the normal telephone lines is connected to the DSLAM. This DSLAM is a it's a access multiplexer which connects multiple such type of customer uh, lines, and it is providing the services. Now there are different types of DSL. This is the basic operation you have seen. This is the central office DSLAM. This is the customer premises. You are having the functionality of IP routing and the modem. So it is having this is the DSL modem over here at the customer premises, and over the phone line it is connected. So it will be carrying the voice also plus the data traffic. So there is a filter. This bill is going to your this is normal telephone line, so normal telephone where you will have the voice, and when you are using your PC, it will be using the data traffic. There are different types of DSL. Have ADSL, RADSL, VDSL, HDSL, IDSL. The different type it can be asymmetric or it can be symmetric, and accordingly there are different type of speeds. Now we all know that there is a uplink and a downlink. Right? Uplink is like from the customer premises or customer to the uh, main server, and downlink is from the main that service provider to the user. That is a downspeed. So you will always see downspeed is more than the upspeed. So there is a two type of speeds. This is downspeed and upspeed. The distance it can carry is different depending upon different types of DSL. So you have ADSL, which is asymmetric digital subscriber line, very high bitrate digital subscriber line, symmetric or rate adaptive or high bit data rate or integrated service digital network. So you can have ISDN DSL or this different type of DSLs. In asymmetric, it's like basically like it is using typical like most home and small business users typically use ADSL to transfer data from the internet to PC in is much faster than the transfer from PC to internet. That means this is a down speed. Internet to PC, that is the server to PC. So this is the down speed is much faster than the up speed. So down speed it ranges from 1.59 Mbps and upstream from 1.5 Mbps for a distance of 18,000 feet from the service provider premises. This is ADSL already seen. VDSL provides high speed internet connection but works only over a short distance. So the distance which is covered is small, for like it will give you high bit rate, but the distance covered will be short. Symmetric, it does not allow to use the phone at the same time. So, but internet speed of sending and receiving data is the same. So here it is symmetric. You cannot use your phone and uh, data network, that is internet, at the same time. Rate adaptive digital subscriber line, that is RADSL. The service is a variation of ADSL, but the modem can adjust the internet speed. So the rate can be changed. That is why the name has rate adaptive. High bit data rate. It was the first DSL technology which used the higher frequency spectrum of the copper, that is twisted pair cables. Applications, interactive video, movies on demand, video conferencing, high speed data communication, that is your internet access, telecommuting, communicating, or remote LAN access, specialized network access. These are all the applications for a DSL. Advantage is it is always on. There is whenever it is connected, it is always on, and we can still use the phone for voice calls. Broadband speed is much faster than dial-up service. There is fixed monthly billing regardless of time usage. Digital data is directly transmitted to computer as digital data, which uses much wider bandwidth for transmitting. Disadvantages: when you move away from the central office, the connection becomes slower and it results distortion of signals also. Okay, so this was about DSL. Is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. In your syllabus, there are like they have given some broadband standards: cable modem, DSL, and HFC. So I have covered DSL. Uh, The cable modem is like actually you require a device which has two interfaces, one with the PC and one with the network. So there is a standard called as Data over Cable Service Interface Specification, which is DOCSIS. And this is like modem to computer, which is very you have Ethernet or you have USB. Okay. And other end you have either FDM, that is frequency division multiplexing, or time division multiplexing. Okay. To which the cable will share the bandwidth. Later on, we will see what is TDM, FDM, all those differences. And that is a cable modem. We have already seen DSL. There is one more topic called as transmission impairment. Transmission impairment means actually it is like you have a difference between a transmitted signal and a received signal. Now, when this difference occurs, because there is some kind of impairment, like there is an analog signal, then you have there is some noise, there is some distortion, there is some attenuation of the signal. So there are various causes of transmission impairments. You have the received signal and transmitted signal, they don't match in the amplitude or in the shape. So there can be a change in the frequency, there can be change in the amplitude, there can be change in the phase. Okay. So in case of digital transmitter signals, you have the changes in the zeros and ones, so there is some error, so that is a transmission impairment. Okay. So that can be, the causes can be, you have noise. There are different type of noises are there. You have distortion of the signal, you have attenuation of the signal. Okay. The noise is what the unwanted, you can say, signal which is getting added to the transmitted signal, and because of which it is modifying the transmitted signal. And at the receiver end, you have to remove that unwanted noise or signal. Sometimes it becomes very difficult to remove such type of noise. Okay. There can be a impulse noise, thermal noise, different kind of noise can get added. There is a distortion is like you have many composite signals, okay, which are different, like various frequency components are uh, which makes a complete signal, and those uh, signals are transmitted with some different delays. So at the receiver end, those components which are to be again get together, they there, because of the delay there is a distortion in the signal, okay, because of this different delay at the receiver end. So delay can be because of the environmental parameters or the distance, a big, because we already know that uh, like there is multipath propagation. So the all the uh, transmitted, you can say signals, they reach the receiver through various ways. If the signal can be, there can be multiple copies of the signal which is reaching the receiver. So there with the different delay. So there is a composite signal which is appearing at the receiving end. So because of these different components, there can be a phase change, and because of that, the received signal will be distorted. There is a attenuation means as the distance increases, the signal strength will go on decreasing. Okay, so the signal received signal uh, may be attenuated. There can be lot of resistance. There can be not lot of noise which gets added, and the is original signal strength is reduced. Okay? So the power may be changing because of which you have attenuated signal. So these are certain transmission impairments